This volunteer group would become the core of the Friends of Bellaire Parks. In 1981, when the 3.75-acre Henshaw estate across the street from Evergreen Park went on the market, the Friends jumped at another opportunity for park development. It would be a daunting process to raise the $1.3 million asking price, but money slowly came in through fundraising events, in-kind donations, and foundation grants. The first step involved creating a park on the southern portion of the Henshaw property that later became Russ Pittman Park. Next, volunteers tackled the estate grounds and the Henshaw House.
And it wasn't until after we closed on the property that they let us see the property when they moved out. And the first time we saw it, I said, my God, there were holes, there was a hole in the roof and a tub downstairs on the lower floor collecting rainwater from the roof above the second story. And it was just a disaster. The first time we plugged in a light or something, the wire started smoking.
Again, Bellaire volunteers pitched in, and along with architect Dan Barnum, the Henshaw House was restored. It is now the centerpiece of the Nature Discovery Center.
What we do is the kids become scientists when they come to the Nature Center, and they do investigations and exploration, and they say, gee, I didn't know that science could be so much fun. And I discovered that all by myself, So it's teaching them how to learn. It's teaching them how to appreciate the environment and protect the environment.
One of Bellaire's best-known historic restorations took place during the Texas sesquicentennial year. Members of the Bellaire Historical Society decided to locate an historically accurate trolley and bring it back to Bellaire for permanent display.
Moppy Gay's husband worked for Bayreuth, and we understood that there was an exact replica in Portugal, I think it was, of the trolley. And we saved money, did various things, and paid for that trolley.
The company brought it back for us, came into the ship channel, and we went to the ship channel as a group, and band my husband played to greet the trolley as it got off the freighter. And then we brought it into Bellaire in a parade and said it was a lot of fun.
The 1916 home, they took up the streetcar line, and we put the rails in the foundation of the house. That was a story we were told as we was growing up. We had a porch that was over the basement that shifted away from the building. We took that off and put a wooden porch there, and sure enough, there are the rails in the foundation of this porch. So when the Historical Society put the replica of the streetcar in the middle of the esplanade, we donated them rails. So they have the original rails that the streetcar ran on.
With the arrival of the 21st century came one of the most emotional victories for the city. The Bellaire Little League team, in a grueling round of finals, clawed its way to the Little League World Series in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania. There, they defeated Davenport East in the United States Championship game before finishing as the World Series runner-up. Bellaire High School's Cardinal baseball team has also been perennial victors and has seeded many professional teams from their ranks.
The tradition with the Bellaire High School baseball team started, the very first or second year that the Bellaire High School was in existence. They had a coach who became a very legendary high school coach, Ray Knobloch, and I think he won the state championship the second and third year of the existence of the high school, and that's almost unheard of. And those were kids that came right out of Bellaire Little League that grew up together. Then through the years, they've won more and more state championships. It's been passed on to Rocky Manuel, the current coach, who's kept that tradition going and who is a very close friend of Ray Knobloch.
If you talk high school baseball in Texas, you better start with Bellaire. It's real simple.
The 21st century ushered in a second building boom unmatched since the end of World War II. Impressive mansions replaced the single-storied ranch homes the returning GIs had built. The city also was updating its community services, beginning with a new aquatic center. Some of the funding for the complex came from residents through donations to the Patrons for Bellaire Parks.
It came out of a lot of public input and citizen input. And I think the success we saw this summer, I mean, we had tremendous numbers of people coming and using it, lots of families every day, and lots of kids using it.
Bellaire's history continues in many forms. Some iconic establishments still operate unchanged, like Bellaire's Broiler Burger.
I do have a lot of regulars, and I have a very loyal following, actually. I've been there so long, and there's people there from the 70s that still come in there, or people have moved away, and then they'll come back to visit, and they'll mention that you know, they wish they had a number 4, which is a chili burger, or Bellaire Special that has bacon and cheese on it, you know, and I'm still amazed by that. I'm humbled by it, and there's such friendly people too, you know, around the area.
The annual 4th of July parade is another tradition that continues in Bellaire. Watching scenes from the 1976 U.S. Bicentennial Parade, you see the same enthusiastic involvement by the whole community. Only the hair and clothing styles give it away as an earlier time. And of course, people still want to know their neighbors and talk about all that goes on in Bellaire that affects their lives.
Really? Again?
You know all about that, Ralph?
This is before my time.
Instead of the golden years, it's the rusty years.
There are some things in Bellaire that are no longer with us, but in the collective memory of its older residents, they're not forgotten.
We did build a good business on oldies. We got calls from all over the United States and Canada and did a tremendous mail order business. I remember one afternoon, answered the phone and they said, well, how late are you open? Well, we're open till 5:30. Well, I can't be there at 5:30. Could you stay open? Because I'm going to the moon and I need some music to go. And he went through every bin and picked up 45s that he took to NASA, and they recorded them and he took them to the moon.
The memory I want to keep of Bellaire is how welcoming people were. Even though they didn't know us, we were just new people who were willing to volunteer and be part of the community. That's the thing that makes Bellaire what it is.
I've always felt privileged to live here. It is a community, or was then, and I think to some extent it is now, a community of givers and not a community of takers.
I helped everybody I could. If someone was sick, I would make a meal. And then plus, you know, I would cook for my family. And I worked for the Friends of the Library, with the Historical Society. Whoever needed help, I helped.
if Bellaire ever gets to the point where very highly competent people are unwilling to participate in the city government, then I think problems could develop. But the lesson of the history of Bellaire is that there tends to be a yearning for good leadership to rise and to participate.
I believe that the thing that's the common thread, whether it was 100 years ago or it's today, and hopefully it'll be in another 100 years, is that sense of community and pride in our city and wanting to be involved and really loving Bellaire. I hear that from people all the time. I mean, we'll have someone who's only lived here a year, and they'll talk about how much they love to live in Bellaire. And we have people who've lived here 60 years, and they've got that same sort of love for the community and love for our city. And I would hope that that would continue on.
You know, we just recently had Hurricane Ike, and did a lot of damage, a lot of destruction, a lot of disruption of people's lives. It was almost poetic that it happened during the centennial. Because what it did is it got people back outside talking to their neighbors. The kids were playing, they're riding their bicycles, they're going to the parks. Kids are coming up to the police department asking if they can have tours, if there's something they can do there. And it was almost like you turned the calendar back to 1958. And I hope what that did is it maybe reinstill or jumpstart people to thinking about their community. And if Bellaire ever loses that sense of something special about their community and their lifestyle, and they'll just become another neighborhood in the city of Houston, and that's what I hope doesn't happen.
I enjoyed this one when they talked about the old guests.